Hello, we are the 3LIS group, and we are about to perform an interview about the origins of the strawberry production. My name is Damaris Maciel Castillo Arauz. I am a tutor. I'm a third year student. My code is 18016. We are receiving the support of Dr. Emmanuel Torres because he is an expert in the field.
Uh, my question, the first question is what is the origin, the production of strawberry?
Strawberries actually start with a weird mix in between two hybrids. All right, so the whole story starts in West United States. There's one species called Fragaria virginiana, which was moved all the way to France way back in the late 1700s, and then it's kind of funny. There wasn't a spy from France who, like, at that time they were in war with Spain, and Spain had a few installations back in Chile, down in Chile, right? So they actually sent a spy from France to check out the buildings that they had in Chile. This guy, his last name I think it was Frazier or something like that. He actually discovered that the people native from that part, they were eating this weird but very tasty fruit, and they used to call it frutilla. Well, he actually stole a few plants from there and moved it all the way up to France. And back in the botanical garden of the king at that point, which was I think Francisco for the 14th, I think it was. He put both plants in the same garden, the Fragaria virginiana, which came from West U.S., and the Fragaria chiloensis, which came from West Chile. They actually cross right there, and that's the point where we got the first commercial strawberries. The ones that you guys eat right now, they're called Fragaria by ananasa because of the Fragaria species, because both of them are Fragarias, and the ananasa actually comes because of the shape, the cone shape of the strawberry, which in the early times of England, they used to call it anything with a cone shape. They used to call it ananas, kind of similar to the pineapples. That's why it's called Fragaria by ananasa, because it's a hybrid between the Fragaria chiloensis, which came from Chile, and the Fragaria virginiana, which came from West U.S.
Hi. Why is the strawberry production considered economically important?
It is really important. Actually, let's talk about U.S. for 1 second. The two main states that actually produce strawberries are California and Florida. Last year they made close to 300 millions in 4 months of production, and that's only in the states. Chile produces strawberries also. Argentina, Costa Rica and Central America has a big production. If you move to Europe, you will find that Spain, Morocco, Italy, they all produce strawberries, and their markets are really specific. I mean, Europe, Spain and Italy, they're going to focus mostly in the production of high quality fruits, not so much the yield, because they tend to sell to directly to restaurants, different chefs, right? So they're looking for quality and size. While here in America, well, you will find that people tend to focus more on the yield part. They tend to look for high yields, not so much the quality of the fruit. I mean, not so much the sweetness of the fruit, but they want to make sure that they're profitable anytime they're producing. So yeah, it's important.
Doctor, can you name top countries that are involved with the strawberry production?
Sure. Like I said, China and US are the two biggest producers of the fruit. Then you will have Chile, Argentina, Brazil, not so much. Here in Central America, you have strawberries productions in Costa Rica, really few growers in Honduras. Then if you move to the other side, Spain is one of the biggest producers in Europe, followed by Italy. Morocco actually is one of the biggest competitors also there. And I think those are the biggest one. I know Russia tends to produce a little bit, but it's not as compared to the size of the country and other crops that they have. It's not one of the biggest crops that they have.
What new technologies are being developed to produce strawberry in adverse conditions?
Well, throughout the years, the main focus has been to genetically modify the crop, right? New varieties are coming. It usually tends to. It's fairly hard to get a new variety, especially in strawberries, because they're octoploids, meaning that they have 8 pairs of alleles in each chromosomes, and they have 7 chromosomes. So if you take a seed of the crop, you pretty much have no idea what is coming out of that. So it's fairly hard to get a new cultivar, and that tends to happen like every, I'll say, 6 to 10 years. So most of the money in research right now is being used to improve the technologies that we have to develop new cultivars, because strawberries are kind of weird in that sense, because once you put it in the field, there's not many practice that you can do. You basically just put it out there, make sure they have fertilizer, water, and they grow. So what we can change is their genetics, and that tends to be the main focus right now. Cultivars that are resistant to high temperatures, high rainfall, high pest and disease pressures are the main focus, and always trying to get better quality of the fruit.
Well, you mentioned the factor that determine in the production condition of strawberry crops.
The main 2 factors that actually affect the fruit, the crop, are temperature and photoperiod. And the reason is because those 2 will affect the flowering of the plant. The plant tends to be adapted to a lot of environments. However, if you're looking for high yield, you will need a lot of flowers constantly appearing. So you need a particular range of temperature under a particular condition of photoperiod, meaning that most of the crops, for example, strawberries are divided in 3 types of plants: day neutral, short days, and long days. The last 2 that I mentioned, they either either bloom on really short days, lower than 10 hours, long days, longer than 14 hours. So depending on that, on which crop you have, you might have one or another factor that is going to be determining in the fact that you might get or not the high yield. Temperature and photoperiod play a bigger role than the rest, but it's not always the same condition that you're going to find that is going to determine if you're going to get what you want in terms of yield and quality.